Good evening. Events to remember servicemen and women who died in conflict have been taking place across Scotland. The First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, attended the annual Wreath-laying and Remembrance Sunday service at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. Andrew Black reports.
Remembrance Sunday on Edinburgh's Royal Mile. Members of the armed forces, past and present, were joined by the public to remember those lost in conflict. Attending today's event, Anne Blair, her husband David was killed while serving in Northern Ireland in 1979.
It's 38 years now, unbelievably. Sometimes it still feels like yesterday. I think it's frightfully important that we remember them. I think it's the one thing, having lost my husband so young, that we do remember them year after year.
Also attending the ceremony, First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, who laid a wreath at Edinburgh's Stone of Remembrance.
Remembrance Sunday is always a poignant occasion. It's an opportunity for all of us, individually and collectively, to pay our respects to those who have fought in our armed forces, our veterans, and those who currently serve in our armed forces to keep all of us safe. We owe them an enormous debt of gratitude, and today is a moment to remember the sacrifices that they make.
It's now 99 years since the end of the First World War, but events like these are also about remembering those killed in more recent conflicts and passing those memories on to generations of the future. Andrew Black, Reporting Scotland, Edinburgh.
The GMB union says any loss of jobs at the leading engineering company BIFAB would be a hammer blow. BIFAB is understood to be on the verge of calling in administrators. The Scottish Government has promised to do whatever it can. Derek Crawshaw reports.
BIFAB, or Burnt Island Fabricators, builds large-scale equipment for the offshore oil and gas industry, as well as platforms for offshore wind turbines and tidal generators. More than 600 people work at yards in Fife and on the Isle of Lewis. Yesterday it was reported that the firm is on the verge of calling in the administrators. Today the union which represents the workers says it's very worried.
At a time when politicians of every political party have said to us that the future is about the renewables industry, the future is about wind farms and all this sort of stuff, it would be beyond belief that we would allow the yards at BIFAB to go bust.
The BBC understands the company has had cash flow problems linked to a contract for the Beatrice offshore wind farm in the Moray Firth. The Scottish Government says it will do whatever it can to help.
Well, there's ongoing talks and I appreciate this will be a very concerning time for employees, but there are meetings to be taken and we will take any action we can as a government to support the employees.
It's expected the GMB union and workers will meet tomorrow for emergency talks. Derek Crawshaw, Reporting Scotland.
The family of a 20-year-old football fan who died after falling in a stairwell at an international match at Celtic Park are suing the club. Nathan McSeveny, who was from Cumnock in Ayrshire, died after Scotland's match against the Republic of Ireland 3 years ago. The club said it did not accept liability for the accident. An 18-year-old man has been treated in hospital with a head injury after he was attacked in a Glasgow shop. It happened inside Premier's under the railway bridge in Argyle Street last night. The Scottish Government is calling on the Chancellor to stop the rollout of universal credit. Finance Secretary Derek Mackay has written to Philip Hammond asking for improvements to be made to the payment system. He said a delay in payments had caused hardship to families across Scotland. The UK Government said the vast majority of people were paid universal credit in full and on time. In golf, overnight leader Scott Jamieson missed out on victory at the Nedbank Challenge in South Africa. It would have been the biggest win of his career, but he finished one short off winner Brandon Grace. Now, tonight could be the coldest night of the autumn so far, with a chance of snow. Christopher is here to tell us more. Hello, Christopher.
Suzanne, thank you very much indeed. Yes, hello there. A cold and frosty night ahead with clear skies for most. Still a few showers around at the moment across parts of the far north and northeast, but these will fizzle and fade away to leave a dry, cold night. Temperatures in towns and cities down to freezing, if not lower, and perhaps a few rural parts of Aberdeenshire down to a chilly -6 or -7. So a cold start to the day tomorrow. Some early sunshine around the east coast, but cloud readily building from the west, crossing the country early on, followed by outbreaks of rain. And as that rain meets the cold air, falling as snow over the hills and high ground, and perhaps to some of the higher road routes at times too. The further south that you are, the rain fairly light and patchy, but it will be rather grey and rather cold. Temperatures 5 to 7 Celsius, milder in the northwest where it will be windy with strong to gale force conditions at times. That's the forecast for now.
Our next update is just after the 10 o'clock news. We'll see you then. Goodbye.